I'm not sure there's anybody in media who's been harder on Joe Rogan than me in recent times. Because Joe Rogan was a guy who supported Bernie Sanders in the past. He had many liberals and lefties on, people like myself, people like Abby Martin. And by all accounts, seemed like a decent dude whose heart was in the right place. He in the past had advocated for universal health care on his show and higher wages and ending wars and all that stuff. And then as time went by, he sort of got cocooned in a right-wing echo chamber surrounded by right-wing MMA fighters and comedians and politicians.
And Kyle Kulinski has never forgot it ever since. I mean, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So, this is Kyle Kulinski actually about to do the unthinkable and give Joe Rogan maybe some, I don't know, credit for criticizing Trump, but it doesn't last long because it's really an elementary level of criticism. But Kyle Kulinski is going to basically break down what Joe Rogan has to say. You know, Joe Rogan, again, who endorsed Trump. A lot of people found out afterwards that it wasn't what you thought it was going to be. I don't know why Joe Rogan and others weren't paying attention, but Kyle Kulinski is going to break down what's going on exactly with this new found revelation of Trump doing what Trump was going to do anyway, and Joe Rogan being scared or shocked or whatever. Let's just go ahead and get into it.
Trigonometry show. I can't with those guys. Oh, I can't. All these podcasters that came out of nowhere where they just rode the wave of like, political correctness, bro, left-wing snowflakes, bro, cancel culture, bro, pink hair college kids, bro. All the fucking asshole podcasts that came out of that, right? Just riding that wave of like, in the left woke. I hate all of them so much. They're such hacks. It's such low-hanging fruit. It was such a, how can I get popular? Oh, I'll say that, right? So anyway, here they go.
31-year-old makeup artist falsely deported to El Salvador prison, lawyer says. Immigration attorney a gay Venezuelan makeup artist seeking asylum in the U.S. was wrongly detained as a gang member and deported to El Salvador, a case becoming a flashpoint in the debate over the Trump administration's deportation of hundreds of migrants to a notoriously inhumane El Salvador mega prison. Man. So again, it's hard to know.
Yeah, it's hard
to know. Oh, man. What am I going to do with this? Here are a list of undeniable facts about innocent people who were illegally shipped off to an El Salvador slave labor camp. It's hard to know, bro. Oh, is it? It's hard. Why is it hard to know? I'll tell you why it's hard to know. It's hard to know because you're fucking buddies with Trump and Dana White and J.D. Vance and Elon Musk, and you talk to them on a regular fucking basis, and you went to his inauguration and you want to fucking party and do podcasts in Mar-a-Lago. That's why it's hard to know, right? That's why it's hard to know. I mean, I like these guys, and I'm in the friend group, but, like, this sounds really bad and totally indefensible, so, like, it's hard to know. It's hard. It ain't fucking hard to know. It's right there in front of you. Man up. Say it.
What's real and what's not real, but if it is real, this is fucking horrible.
But if you think about it, Joe,
that's as good as you're going to get. That's as good as you're going to get from 2025 Joe Rogan. If it is real, it's horrible. We know it's real. Say it's fucking horrible unequivocally and call out your boy. Call him out. Fuck, you say it on the podcast and then call him on the fucking phone. Hey, are you destroying due process? Are you destroying the Constitution? Are you ripping up the First Amendment? What the fuck are you doing?
Say if you're rounding up hundreds of people, mistakes are going to get made because everyone's human. And you then have to have a system, I think, that allows you to amend and make adjustments for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love how he's as vaguely as possible describing what due process is. You know, we should probably have a system where, like, if they try to arrest you or deport you or take you somewhere or something, that, like, you check to make sure it's correct and you, like, present evidence or something, maybe to somebody we can call a judge? Yeah, a judge. What? You're describing due process.
Well, how would the Brit know? If he, you know, like the Brit who's none too hype, but to get involved. Okay, I usually don't take that position, but I feel the same way Kyle Kulinski feels about this Constantine kissing from trigonometry. Like, who even are these people who just spawned out of nowhere? And they're so boring when they talk. The only time he was funny was when he was getting so worked up over, like, Tucker Carlson and stuff like that. I guess because in some warped way, I just like to laugh at people when they're getting worked up over things that don't matter. But anyway, And now Konstantin Kisin is so aware of wokeness that now he's calling people on the right woke right. I hate the term. I hate what MAGA did with the term. Listen, I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it all the way real. I hate what the left did with the term. Yes, I do. Because the word woke meant that we knew the government lies to us about things. That's what it meant. And suddenly, all of a sudden, they made woke turn into like this clownish thing. And then the right is still obsessed with it, talking about woke, saying it's bad and, and all of that. It should have never turned into all of this. And so now you have somebody who loves the word so much, they're calling people on the right woke. It is just so, it is almost nauseating, these people. And by the way, it's funny because I thought Kyle Kulinski was going to give Joe Rogan just a little bit of, credit for the things he was saying. And then, but he just couldn't because Joe Rogan failed because Joe Rogan was met with facts and Joe Rogan said, I don't know, we got to see what's going on. Like Joe Rogan couldn't figure it out. And Kyle Kulinski is still going off about saying, I told you, elementary level worth of criticism that doesn't even go anywhere.
And your guy's favorite president fucking destroyed it. Ripped it up, shit on it, and lit it on fire. You gonna say that? No, you're not gonna say that, are you?
And it can't be bury your head in the sand and pretend it didn't happen.
No.
Yeah.
And this is the trouble with government. The incentive structure is all wrong. Like, to admit that is now embarrassing.
That's crazy.
Right? And it's scary. We have the same problem in the UK in terms of...
I cannot stand this guy. Like, it's not even fair for me to like everything. I'm sorry. I know I just hit the button again. I stopped it. I know I did. But it's just like, he makes me sick. I mean, I have no other word for it. Like, he makes me sick. He just does. Like, I'm nauseous right now. No. By the way, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and a notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on these videos.
Illegal immigration, and if we ever get a government that's going to deal with that, we're also going to have to remove a lot of people who are there illegally. They shouldn't be there. A lot of them are, and like I said, we had a report that shows they're way more likely to commit sexual crimes.
Oh my God.
Way more likely to commit violent crimes. They're way more likely to commit all sorts of crimes.
I love how a conversation about how this insane crackdown on immigrants and how they're getting innocent people and shipping them off to an El Salvador slave labor camp, how quickly it morphs into actually immigrants are really bad and they commit crimes and stuff, bro, you know what I'm saying? Wow, that is fucking low. You're presented undeniable evidence to the contrary, and you're like, yeah, but in many other instances, there actually are a lot of criminal stuff. Well, okay, that's nice. Why don't you check the numbers for here in the United States, where the reality is the exact fucking opposite? They've done studies on this, and both documented immigrants and undocumented immigrants are much less likely to be criminals than people born in the United States of America. That's the reality here. You gonna bring that up? I didn't think so.
You are going to have to remove them, but you have to do it in a way where there's due process and a respect.
Are they trying to remove them in England?
No.
At all?
No. They're saying they are, but they're not removing them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the mistakes like that have to be corrected if you want reasonable people to be on board with you.
By the way, it's adorable that he thinks it's a mistake. One of these ICE reports came out, and they literally said, hey, one of these people we're deporting, they have tattoos. You know how they're using that to say they're in a gang, right? Well, what did the tattoo say? Mom and dad. They had a tattoo that said mom and dad. They took a look at it, and they said, ship them to the slave labor camp in El Salvador. Joe, I hope you're listening. It's not a mistake. They want to do this. It wasn't a mistake when they rounded up Mahmoud Khalil for being pro-Palestine and against Israel's genocide. That was the point. The point was, we don't want people who are pro-Palestine and anti-Israeli genocide. We arm Israel, we fund Israel, we support Israel. Trump took $100 million from the Israel lobby, from Miriam Adelson, right? This is the point. It's not mistakes. This is what they want.
If you want...
And that's why it's good when Kyle cooks like that, because these are points that we must make. And actually, they are still finding judges to still call for the deportation of Mahmoud Khalil, which is absolutely insane to me, which just shows you that the people who really run this country, they know how to hold a grudge better than, better than a black woman. No, for real, absolutely insane. But Kyle Kulinski hits it again. He's right. I mean, that's really what's been going on. And, it's insane, bro. It is insane. Like, if you're not online, like, I get that somebody who's not online may not know everything that's going on. I get that, because it hasn't hit them yet. But for somebody like, you know, Joe Rogan and, you know, a lot of these other people, it's like, it is, even somebody like me making this YouTube video, it's our job to be online. So how are you not aware of this stuff and just like really pissed off about it? I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.